August 6, 1945. A man stands on a quiet street in the city of Hiroshima. The morning is calm. The sky is clear. There is no warning, no sirens, no sign of what is about to happen. Then, a flash, brighter than anything he has ever seen. For a split second, the entire world turns white. And then, everything disappears. Buildings collapse. Fire erupts across the city. A shockwave tears through the streets. In an instant, tens of thousands of people are gone. But somehow, this man survives. Burned, injured, shocked. He has no idea that in just 3 days, he will face it all again. A normal day. His name was Tsutomu Yamaguchi. He was a 29-year-old engineer working for a Japanese company. In the summer of 1945, he had been sent to Hiroshima on a business trip. After months away from home, he was preparing to return to his family in Nagasaki. On the morning of August 6th, he was walking toward a shipyard. He had actually forgotten something important and turned back to retrieve it. That small decision would save his life, because at 8:15 a.m., everything changed. The first bomb. Without warning, an American B-29 bomber dropped a single bomb over Hiroshima. The explosion released a force unlike anything the world had ever seen. A blinding flash lit up the sky. Yamaguchi instinctively dove to the ground. A powerful shockwave followed, throwing him into a nearby ditch. The heat was intense, hot enough to burn skin instantly. His face and arms were severely burned. His eardrums ruptured. He could barely hear. When he finally stood up, the city was gone. Buildings had been flattened. Fires burned everywhere. People wandered the streets in silence, covered in burns and ash. Some were barely recognizable. Others cried out for help that would never come. It looked like the end of the world. Escaping Hiroshima. Despite his injuries, Yamaguchi knew he had to escape. He spent the night in a bomb shelter, surrounded by survivors, surrounded by the injured, surrounded by the dying. The next morning, he made a decision that seemed impossible. He would go home. He walked through the ruins of Hiroshima to reach the train station. Amazingly, some trains were still running, even after the destruction, even after the chaos. He boarded a train and left the city, leaving behind a place that had been almost completely destroyed. But his journey wasn't over. Return to Nagasaki. On August 8th, just 2 days after the bombing, Yamaguchi arrived home in Nagasaki. He was exhausted, burned, weak, but alive. The next morning, he went to work, still injured, still in pain, but determined to report what had happened. He tried to explain it to his boss. A single bomb, one explosion, an entire city destroyed. His boss didn't believe him. It sounded impossible, unreal. But at that exact moment, history was about to repeat itself. The second bomb. August 9th, 1945. At 11:02 a.m., another American bomber appeared over Nagasaki. Another bomb was dropped. Another flash filled the sky. Yamaguchi saw it. Again, he threw himself to the ground just as the explosion hit. The building he was in partially collapsed. Glass shattered everywhere. The shockwave ripped through the city. For the second time in 3 days, he had survived a nuclear explosion. Outside, Nagasaki was burning, just like Hiroshima. The same destruction, the same chaos, the same horror. But this time, he knew exactly what it meant. After the blast, Yamaguchi made his way back home through the destroyed city. Miraculously, his family had survived. Though their home was damaged, they were alive. For days they hid together, weak, injured, surrounded by destruction. The full impact of the bombs wasn't immediately understood. Radiation sickness began to spread. People who had survived the blast began to fall ill. Fever, vomiting, hair falling out. Many would die days or weeks later. Yamaguchi himself became seriously ill, but once again, he survived. The end of the war. Just days after the second bombing, Japan surrendered. World War II came to an end. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki had changed the world forever. They showed the destructive power of nuclear weapons, a power so great that a single bomb could destroy an entire city. And yet, in the middle of all that destruction, one man had lived through both, a life after war. For many years, Yamaguchi rarely spoke about his experiences. Like many survivors, he carried the trauma in silence. But later in life, he began sharing his story, not for attention, but as a warning. He became a voice against nuclear weapons, reminding the world of what he had seen, what he had survived, and what should never happen again. 2 bombs, 2 cities, 3 days apart, and one man who lived through both. The story of Tsutomu Yamaguchi is almost impossible to believe, but it's real. A reminder of both the fragility of life and the strength of the human will to survive.
Like and subscribe now to Anything History if you enjoy clear and engaging history, because history isn't just about the past, it's about understanding how we got here.